Hello and welcome back to episode 27 of The Outer Worlds. I'm Vic and you're watching yet another Let's Play channel. So, I'm listening.
I do know this much. There is a sharper side to the good scientist than you'd expect. If allegations are to be believed, the experiments he conducts for the greater good are in fact treasonous and for self-gain. I am not convinced as to the validity of these allegations, considering the source, but I am also not unconvinced either.
I want to ask you about something else.
Luckily for you, I am a veritable font of information.
Have you received any broadcasts from Earth?
What? No. Why would I go out of my way to intercept messages from Earth? There's no market for them. No buyer means it's not worth my time. Now, if you wanted me to intercept a certain one, that might be worth it for the right price.
I wonder why I would want that. Let's talk about the board.
There are so many members. Do specify.
I don't know. Got any compromising information on the chairman?
If you try to cite me on this, I will deny. Do you understand? What I am about to reveal is the sort of information that gets a body disappeared. MSI's ownership of Monarch is technically legal, but it would give MSI too much power on the board to grant them such status.
So the chairman demonizes Monarch.
Exactly. But you didn't hear so much as a whisper of such from me. Luckily for you,
Tell me about MSI and the Iconoclasts.
They are a curious lot. Insufferable. And short-sighted, too. What else do you wish to know?
I can use some dirt on Sanjar.
Sanjar's not actually at fault for his past performance reviews, but he can keep hunting for loopholes to get back on the board for the next century. He'll never be reinstated. Not in his lifetime. For Nebula's sake, even with the loophole I gave him, he's only in charge of MSI because every other exec died during the massacre at Amber Heights.
What do you mean?
I gave Sanjar and Graham legal information that would allow MSI to own Terra One, once the other corporations had abandoned the planet. The execs had their concerns, but before the matter could be resolved, pirates raided their homes in the night.
Alright, how about Graham Bryant?
Some say Graham suffers from nightmares that leave him sweat-drenched and screaming. I would assume it stems from the friends and family he lost in Amber Heights all those years ago.
What's the story?
You mean between MSI, the Iconoclasts, and myself? I bet neither of those megalomaniacs told you I was the true mastermind behind Monarch. Back when the colony was still Terra One and corporations were abandoning us left and right, I'm the one who approached Sanjar and Graham with the means to our salvation. I offered them a legal way to take control of the planet. If MSI were the only corporation here, they could claim sole ownership.
So MSI would have to stay behind.
Precisely. The other corporations were fleeing because of the hazard clause declaring Terra One uninhabitable. But MSI had lagged behind, giving Sanjar and Graham an opportunity. Take over MSI, stay here while the other corps left, take over the planet.
And so you're the glue.
Precisely. Without me, they never would have done more than play Revolution in hushed whispers over scuzzy kale ales in the tavern. Thus, the bargain was struck. They could run MSI while I would operate Devil's Peak Station. Unfortunately, relations have soured over time.
Why did the partnership fall apart?
Competing ideologies. Graham believes Sanjar has become corrupted by the corporate lifestyle, that he is now similar to the original corporate executives they sought to reform. And Sanjar has learned the hard way that Graham is quite morally gray.
That's enough gossip.
How low you seemingly regard my trade.
Is this just going to take me back to the... Yeah.
How...
Okay,
Sure.
bye. What's my way out here? Oh. Do we have some goodies here that he would prefer I not mess with? That's my exit door. Yeah, okay, I'll take it.
Dang, that's impressive.
It's not even flagged as stolen. Still oversaturated. Administrator notes Ambert Heights data is iconoclast in origin. Graham is behind it, must speak with him. Stellar Bay broadcasts are coded gibberish, could potentially used to blackmail Sanjar. Has his signature all over it. Dare I say the future is looking bright. Indeed, I can run a full gamut of operations without ever leaving the sanctuary of the broadcast room. Sanjar and Graham are living up to their promises and have not interfered with initial broadcasts. The deal is holding, and I believe I can make a life here. Had a near miss the other day, nearly ended up with the board on my trail. We will mark that trial firmly in the failure category. One must experiment, however, to ascertain the best methods. I've found thus far that the most reliable method for evading detection within the limited frequency of Monarch's off-world transmissions involves duplicating regular news broadcasts on several unused frequencies. My information-gathering associates know how to filter out the sounds in the vocal range, in turn isolating the embedded data. And the board's authorities are none the wiser. Playing Hazard has never been so thrilling nor high stakes. Well, it's pretty weak as steganography goes. Pox it all, those imbecilic children. In their hatred of each other, Sanjar and Graham have oversaturated my key bands. They'll take down each other all right and leave me right along beside them. I never should have invited them to play, but what to do about it now? Yeah, this guy figures he's the spider, playing all the angles. I could have repaired my pistol while I was in there. I should go back to my ship and deal with that. I'll do that in between episodes, though. Just like how I forgot to level up in between episodes. Stellar Bay. Yeah, we gotta go talk to Sanjar. That's what we gotta do. And then we're probably gonna wind up having to resolve some kind of feud between MSI and the Iconoclasts. I don't think I've even talked to Sanjar yet.
Could I get another advance, Mr. Nandi?
Just make sure it's properly logged.
I'll note it next to the others, sir.
Alright then.
Well, new business turns up at last.
Celia, didn't I tell you our new statistics-based advertising model would be a hit?
That you did, sir.
How can yield improvements of 26.7% not quicken the pulse? How can 32% cost savings not moisten the loins?
You've often posed these very questions.
Clear my schedule. This newcomer has a meeting with me.
That's very generous of you.
Celia, will you make a note of that for my self-review? Very generous.
Noted.
But not so generous I can't drive a good bargain. Now, who sent you?
Rizzo's, perhaps? Or Auntie Cleo herself?
I need you to shut off your broadcasts.
Oh. I suppose that means you aren't here for the Saltuna.
Nobody would ever be here for the Saltuna. If I have to eat one more weird science project passed off as food in this sprat-fucked colony, I'm going to stab someone.
Yes, that's it. Channel your anger. I only wish I could do the same.
Seems like you're having a rough time, Mr. Sanjar. Are you doing quite all right?
Oh, don't worry on my account. This is merely the latest in a long line of professional erotic and athletic disappointments. I had hoped that livening up our advertisements with enticing figures would draw the other corporations back to our bosom, but it seems we're back to the drawing board.
If you're free of the other corporations, why would you want to bring them back?
Surviving alone isn't as easy as it looks. Thanks to the so-called hazard clause, Monarch has been cut off from the board's resources and protection for 10 years now. Now, we've kept ourselves in business by trading with individual corporations, but given the off-the-books nature of those transactions, such arrangements are precarious.
Sounds like you're freer than anyone else in Halcyon.
I can tell your iconoclast friends have left their mark on you.
Freedom always sounds nice, doesn't it? It makes a rather pretty slogan. But if you sit down and tally up the costs, how you provide for yourself in the absence of aid, how you protect yourself from a hostile galaxy, it starts to lose its shine.
A hostile galaxy. Except that nobody wants to be here. You only have to worry about a hostile planet. So what do you mean to do about it?
Well, Mr. Nandi here has a rather ingenious plan to get MSI restored to the board.
On our terms, mind you.
But will that help the people here, Mr. Sanjar? Keep them fed and safe?
That's precisely what I'm trying to do.
And if our advertising scheme hasn't borne fruit, then perhaps it's time we took matters into our own hands.
I like Celia, but I do not like Sanjar. I mean, I kind of like Sanjar, but he's maybe a little too enthusiastic. This lady knows what's going on.
It's true, our Celia is an alarmingly competent middle manager. At any other company, she'd be wasted in data entry. The plan she refers to is a two-pronged approach, and the first part involves seeing Stellar Bay properly defended.
You do seem to have a bit of a Raptidon problem.
And a Mantisaur problem. And a Marauder problem.
Many, many problems, but they can all be solved with a Bolt 52 cartridge. If you can get us what we need to rejoin the board, starting with the Bolt 52, we won't need to advertise anymore. We can stop our transmissions altogether.
And you'll have a powerful ally on the board.
Do you mean this Bolt 52?
Oh, yes. I'm going to be up all night with this. All those blanks waiting to be filled, boxes waiting to be ticked.
Try to control yourself, sir.
Have you any idea how powerful this is? Corporations have been toppled with less.
How exactly is a data cartridge going to help?
What a question! Bureaucratic micromanagement is the only way anything gets done in Halcyon, and proper documentation is a key part of that. For our part, a bill of liquidation/transfer Form 52 will protect our holdings on Monarch by temporarily assigning them to a pass-through entity once we drop our bomb on the board.
Let me guess, a paperweight?
See, that doesn't even make sense. This is an electronic form. You don't need paperweights.
Hardly the point, sir.
Just tell me what you're planning.
I have reason to believe that one of the other corporations is operating on Monarch, illegally and in secret.
Is it really illegal if the board's the one that makes the rules in the first place?
If we can find proof, I can use that as leverage to encourage certain powers that be to accept our Bolt 52 and reinstate us on the board.
What does that mean for me?
If someone is operating here, then Catherine's almost certainly supplying them out of Fallbrook. Perhaps she could be convinced to tell you where they are.
Actually, I found a data cartridge.
Already? If only the rest of the colony operated as efficiently as you. Imagine what a different state we'd be in, hmm? I'll complete the Bolt 52 in no time. I dare say it'll be my second greatest achievement after the reformations.
You're getting ahead of yourself again.
So I am. Do you have this cartridge?
What are these reformations?
I'm working on a plan to reorganize the board. Slowly, peacefully, and with meticulous documentation.
What's gonna happen to the people here when the board figures out what you're doing?
Well, by that point, my hope is that we'll be on the board once more.
Maybe I'm worrying too much, but it seems the folks here get plans made for them an awful lot. When do they get to start making plans for themselves?
Once MSI is restored, the people of Monarch will be able to make more choices. We'll have all the brands and resources of the board here. But truly, I am getting ahead of myself. First, I need to submit the Bolt 52. With that data you're holding, of course.
Yeah, okay, here you go.
I knew there was something going on. This is exactly the proof we need. The board will have to welcome us back now. I'll transmit this data along with the completed Bolt 52 right away. After that, we'll sit back and quietly wait for the board to respond.
That means no more broadcasts from us.
I found your review on a terminal.
This has been my albatross. The great shame of my career. I give MSI everything. My work, my youth, my left kidney, and for years, I was a joke to them.
That much was definitely clear.
Nonsense. Look what you've done here, Mr. Sanjar. You got a whole township running.
Oh, you're kind. But you wouldn't say that if you saw our balance sheets. Oh, perhaps they were right. After all, what have I built? Stellar Bay is barely keeping afloat.
Take it easy.
I hadn't thought of it that way. But perhaps there's something to that. Thank you for that. Was there something else?
I met Grim.
I see. And was his delivery of the MSI authorized greeting up to snuff?
He did a bang-up
Well,
job.
that's excellent. I'll see that your feedback makes it into his review. What else can I do for you?
I've got to go. Alright, so bear with me here. I'm thinking that getting this guy back on the board is going to be directly in line with my chaos strategy. Disrupt the prevailing politics, all for my benefit. Review guidelines for annual self-review, select font for annual self-review, format annual self-review, schedule time to write annual self-review, write annual self-review, tell Celia she's doing an excellent job. I have a coworker that probably has a very similar to-do list. No, I'm not going to tell you who. Probably get me in trouble with HR or some shit. Alright, what else? Still can't do that one. Oh, hey, we're right here anyway. Celia, do you know anything about...
Greetings, and welcome to Monarch Stellar Industries, producers and purveyors of the finest salt tuna in Halcyon. What can I do for you today?
I like you. Will you come be my new ship computer? You can keep your body. I just want you to talk instead of it. Grim asked me to check with you.
You know, sending you is the first bright idea I've seen from that man, because I told him to stop bothering me about it a week ago. I still don't know anything about it. But if you want to help him, Velma's the one to ask. She's in the warehouse. But I'll warn you, Grim wore her patience thin a long time ago.
Earlier I overheard you say you had money trouble.
Or is he not paying you on account of how he tried to fix the thing his own self and busted it even worse, and then said you wasn't fixing it fast enough, so he's docking your wages again? Not that I got any prior experience with such.
Not at all. Mr. Nandi treats us all right and pays us well. I just spent most of my paycheck on Raptidon acid.
What? You should do the regular mushroom kind. Do you normally blow your money on Raptidon parts?
Laws, no. Sometimes it's canid teeth, or mantis worm wings. Whatever Sebastian has in stock, really.
Oh, you're a proper weirdo. And you're cute and have a nice voice. Why are you my favorite character now?
So I can talk to him, of course. He doesn't get going about much else.
I reckon she's got a little bit of a squish on this fella.
He's sort of the strong, silent type. Unfortunately, my apartment's kind of filling up with his stuff. And some of the neighbors are complaining about the smell.
Just ask him on a date.
I couldn't. What if he says no? Hey, maybe you could ask him for me. I mean, a no would still be bad, but it won't be quite as embarrassing if you ask. Oh, Mr. Nandi's doing that thing where he breathes through his nose real slowly. I'd better get back to work.
What do you see in Sebastian?
He doesn't talk much, but he's got this quiet intensity, you know? Like there's stuff going on inside his head that you have no idea about. Plus, he's got great legs. It's hard to find a man who doesn't skimp on lower body exercises.
That's all I need to know.
Sorry, sometimes I get carried away.
Bye-bye. Alright, well, I guess I'll help you pursue this bizarre little squish. I like that better. I think we should start using that. Can I just... Oh, it's kind of falling apart over there. Also, no, I can't. So... What have you got? You got a scythe. I think I commented on your scythe before. Oh, that's grim. I don't have anything to say to him yet. What the hell? How do I get to this place? Grim, this place is a mess. It's falling to pieces. Keep going this way. I am somewhat less enamored of Celia now that I know that she's all Twitter-pated over not me. But that's how it goes. How on earth do I get to Velma? Can I get up here? I can. And, well, it's not very productive, is it? Come on, where is this place? Oh. That was not the way to do that. You no longer function well when the ground is far beneath you. So what, when I'm up high or when I'm in the air? In any case, no. One of the goofiest mods I saw when I was checking them out was one that lets you take unlimited flaws. Which isn't something I expected people would be into.
I'd give you a friendlier welcome, but I'm up to my elbows in salt tuna guts.
Gosh, this old girl's in a rough way. Even old Bess in Edgewater was in better shape than this.
Hey, you want to try running a cannery with obsolete machinery? You be my guest.
Sorry, ma'am. I wasn't trying to be rude. It's just your flanging apparatus isn't making a strong flange, so your sealer isn't sealing right, and...
Oh. I see what you're saying. Huh. I'll have to try that. Anyway, what do you folks need?
Let's talk about Caleb.
Unless you're here to tell me he's agreed to do his job again, I've got nothing to say.
Why can't you give him his pay increase?
I don't have the bits for it, plain and simple. Besides, if I make an exception for him, I gotta do the same for everyone.
They're hard workers.
Hard workers? They turn dials and flip switches. The machines do all the actual work.
I'll wager she don't pay those folks that maintain the mechanicals decent neither.
Caleb and his crew have it better than anyone else around here, I'll tell you that much. If Caleb wants to keep this job, he'd better get back to it. I'm about ready to hire sublight contractors at this rate.
You've already lost Braxton.
I don't even want to think about that. Or how far behind Braxton's loss alone is going to put us. Fine. Tell Caleb he and his team can have their raise, but I need them back here immediately. Something else on your mind?
Poster?
This again? I swear, this is the last time I contract for any special requests. You can tell Grimm his poster came in. You can also tell him I got a better offer for it. So now it's going to Nell. That about cover it?
You're a dirtbag. Who's Nell?
She runs the betting parlor across the way. Nice professional lady. She asked me about the poster once. Just once. Made a real generous offer, too.
So it's about the money?
Damn right it is.
You still have the poster, right?
It's staying locked up in my office until Nell shows with her money.
Cool.
Fine by me.
No, we're not going to come to an arrangement. I'm going to go steal it. Can't believe she told me that she was going to welch on a contract and then then told me how to make it right. Where is your office? That's what looks like should be your office. Here we go. Nice and unmonitored. Yeah, you guys get in here. Now you keep that closed.
Done.
I'm taking it all. I'm taking that too. The fish in 23A are looking a little lumpy. If you're not going to make it in, that's fine, but you have to let me know so I can stay on top of the doses. We really need to talk about the Saltuna situation. I've had to let 4 batches rot in the warehouse over the last 2 months because we're not finding buyers. I know the situation with the board puts us in a tough spot, but we need to start thinking about how we're going to keep Stellar Bay afloat if we can't get sales up. Maybe it's something that isn't Saltuna, because Spacer's Choice is already doing that on one of those other planets. Seriously, where are you? You've missed 3 shifts. This is getting ridiculous even for you. Well, he dead. Alright. Well, now that we have robbed that dishonest woman, we can take this poster to Grimm, and I wonder if we can go gloat to Nell after that. That'd be fun. This way. Oh, you know, I've recorded almost 2 episodes, and I don't think I've noticed any frame rate, so I guess I fixed it. That's nice. Hey, buddy.
Have you had time to check on that poster yet? I keep wondering if it's come in.
Here it is.
Would you look at that? The Rizzo's logo is nice and bright, and you can still smell the ink on Mr. Holcomb's signature. I can't thank you enough. Still, you can have the bits I was going to spend at the bar this week. And you know what? Take my old tossball blocker, too. Never get the chance to use it these days.
Good deal. What am I up to now? Running out of side stuff. Oh yeah, we can go and tell him that the mission is accomplished. Is he in town? Looks like he might be in town. Yeah, right there. Okay. In the Yacht Club. How do I get up there again? This way. Hello.
New face, huh? You from Offworld?
How can I be a new face? Didn't I already talk to you? Yeah, I'm Captain Hawthorne.
A ship captain? Well, I'll be. Here, let me buy you a drink. Consider it an MSI welcome. Why don't you grab a chair, sit a spell, and revel with us?
By the smell, he's been reveling enough for you both already.
He gave me a water. We need to talk about Velma.
Sure thing. What did you want to discuss?
I convinced Velma to see reason. She'll increase your pay.
How'd you manage that? Wait, never mind. If I question it, it'll turn out not to be true. Besides, I never follow how you got Velma to part ways with the bit card of her own accord. Here, take this as compensation. It ain't a lot, but I hope it shows how much we appreciate all you've done. Now me and my friends here better get back to work before Velma blows a fuse.
Wow. Alright, I was about to say that I stacked up some big XP this episode, and now we know. So that's it for episode 27. Come back and see me again in episode 28, and I'm thinking we're going to have to advance the main story a bit more, because we're running out of distractions. Talk to you soon.